call Lord Yahawah, bahasham, bahasham, the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. This is Yahawashi, son of Sears, junior, son of Sears, senior. And I'll forget if I don't say it. I was just thinking, the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 4. Against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight. See, evil is transgressions of the law, statutes, and commandments. That's sin. Anything else is pretty much do what you want to do. It's a Babylonian culture. It's First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 41 attitude. Let us all be one people. That's what America pushes forth. Let us all be one people. But that means that you got to cater to everybody's needs, because it's a lot of different emotions, and that's not how Yahawashi works. There's law, statutes, and commandments. There's order. There's orders in the heavens, but there's no order on earth, and that's the problem. So the book of Psalms chapter 51 verse 4, against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest. And how does he speak? He speaks through his prophets. And what did the prophets say? The prophets say, depending on what you do that day, depends on if and what you have to pay. You know what I mean? Just to say it carnally. So there's judgments. And the prophets spoke of the judgments that will take place for the other nations as well as for the nation of Yahawashi, the 12 tribes of Israel. So that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest. We just went over how Yahawashi speaks, and be clear when thou judgest. You know what I mean? Just crystal clear on why we're being judged. Even though we went through a period of time of not knowing why, I went through a period of time in my life, not knowing why, but now it's crystal clear when Yahawashi judges, why and how he judges. That's why a lot of things don't need to be said during certain testimonies that brothers give, or when people tell what happened in their life. Certain shit just don't gotta be said. It's already understood. Yeah, I just had to. I'm at work right now, but I had it on my mind. See, because I had to come to realize through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which is who I got this precept from. I believe it was either Apostle Babar, Apostle Aramla who brought it out, but when I caught it, and it probably wasn't. But either way, everything that I've learned through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because they taught those under them, and those under them taught me. So by default, I've learned it through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. So back on track. So the thing about it is that I have to be quiet on my work. The thing about it is that we don't owe anybody any sympathy or explanation after explanation after explanation after explanation as to we're not sinning against them. There's been no sin committed against them. We've done them no wrong. We just didn't do what they wanted us to do. But then again, that means they're not doing what we want them to do. So it's just all a feeling thing, and that's not our problem. You know what I mean? That's not really our problem. We get to be on some New York shit with this. You know what I'm saying? There's millions of people in that city. You ain't got time to be worrying about every million person. And it's the same thing in this truth. You ain't got time to be worrying about everybody. Just worry about who you need to worry about. And the other people in the city, that's on them. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing about this truth, is you still get to, in a sense, keep that fuck you attitude. So call Lord Yahawah, bahasham, bahasham, the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom.